Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. This is the podcast where we, and by we, I mean me, Appo, and my co-host / co-founder, Vince. Don't you ever do that again during this intro of this show. We dive into the Disney Plus streaming service and we tell you, the listener and the viewer, who has now seen that disgusting scene from Vinny straight off.
Oh, was it that bad?
No, it wasn't that bad.
I was just making sure my moustache was...
It's looking good, man.
It's looking good, thank you.
It's looking good.
Excuse me.
What is worth it and what is not. I think that's what I was up to.
I don't know what you're up to.
We dive into Disney Plus stream service. We do things.
We do things.
But Vincent, we're here.
Yeah.
How exciting that we're here.
So exciting. And can I say to you and the listener and the viewer, may the 15th be with you.
Yeah.
Because we're doing Star Wars.
Yeah, and we were told that we should have done this on May the 4th, but our podcast doesn't come out on May the 4th.
Actually, it could have.
But for that, for our facts, it didn't. I mean, you could check.
No, it doesn't. It wouldn't have come out on May the 4th.
So we're doing it on May the 15th. Look at that. Vincent's got props.
I got props.
Vincent's got props.
Tune into the YouTube if you're listening to this on the Spotify's or the Apple Podcasts.
And also, if you're on the YouTubes and you see Vincent's what looks like a Jedi Bible, that looks like one of those mini Bibles that people have.
It does. It's a blank moleskine.
You'll get shot one day and that will be in your chest pocket.
Oh.
That sounds weird.
Sounds weird. All right. Apologies for that.
You get shot one day, that will be in your chest pocket and then you'll be like, it saved me.
It saved me.
The good book saved me. It'll be the bullet just half in the thing. Dude, that's the way. If you're in the Old West, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
But Vincent, today we are doing episode 1 of Star Wars. And by episode 1, I mean 1999's very own The Phantom Menace. I've got some facts for you up top, Vincent. It's got the 6.5 on the IMDb. It's got the 52% on the Rotten Tomatoes with a 59% audience rating. So that's 52 by the critics, 59 by the audience. Had a budget of 115 million. And Vincent, it made a whopping 1.027 billion.
That's crazy. That's obviously correct to today. Is
Yes.
that still...
So no, that includes this is just simply through the
box office?
box office at the
okay.
But there was a 3D reissue in 2015.
Bro,
Remember they were bringing back everything in 3D?
See, 3D's...
This was post James Cameron's Avatar.
Yeah, and then everyone's going, 3D is the future.
Yeah.
And then everyone got 3D TVs and you're going, what? So I got to have these glasses and I got to remember where I've put them. And then I got to put them on, look like a fool, just because oh man, he's really reaching out to me.
Yeah. Also, what are you going to watch during the day on 3D? You get 1 or 2 movies out of it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we
that's
watched
right.
Green Lantern in 3D. Remember we watched Green Lantern in 3D?
Yeah, but we didn't know it had glasses.
Glasses.
And
They
it was
didn't give us
obviously
glasses.
It was obviously that was at school, wasn't it?
No.
Did we watch
We
it?
went there.
No.
Our PE teacher.
Because I remember we watched Green Lantern in PE for some reason, but it was clearly one of them torrents off the Pirate Bay where they just have some man's in the back with a video camera recording the screen.
And I remember our PE teacher was like, oh, this is great, guys. Look, I was able to get this online. It was free online. He just did not understand what he had done.
It's the first time he was ever on the internet.
And it was not only was it camcorded, but it had the Arabic subtitles at the bottom. It was wild.
Yeah, and then his computer kept having, sexy singles in your area pop up. Probably have so many viruses on that thing.
And his guy would be like, is this correct? Jeez.
In my area. I walk around the area all the time.
So Vincent, I've got a Rotten Tomatoes review here by Kate Muir from the Times, the UK Times to be exact.
The UK Times. That's about 6 hours behind us.
That's about 6 hours behind us. So they may be at May the 4th at this point.
They could be.
They could be.
Time zones are wild. They could be,
Imagine that. There's just one, because of time zones, there's just one place that's perpetually May 4th. And they're just doing Star Wars things every day. We'll get into Star Wars things in a bit. But do kids really want to follow a plot about intergalactic trade embargoes? That's the question that she raises.
It was very meta in 2018, 2019.
And that's when she did the review as well. 2019, December of 2019.
Tariffs. That's exactly what the kids want to know about.
That's tariffs, yeah.
We're talking about there's trade war between the US and China, and then the teacher's going, just watch The Phantom Menace, episode 1.
You understand. You literally understand. But Vincent, I'm going to give you the synopsis, and then we'll get into this because this is probably one of the worst synopsises we've had.
All right.
Jedi discover Anakin Skywalker, a boy unusually strong with the Force.
That's not even the plot of the movie.
That's an element of the movie. That's like a good 20 minutes of the movie, of a 2-hour and 20-minute movie.
Yeah.
So you've missed 2 hours here.
Bro, that's a terrible synopsis.
It should have been trade, tariffs, and like a fight at the end. That's pretty cool.
Trade, tariffs, and a fight at the end. And, kid does speed racer things. All right, so we had a actual feedback that someone liked the reading of the Google questions.
Oh, right. So I did see that.
I'm just read some of the questions. So I've just looked up Phantom Menace, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
I love this. Let me just sip my water bottle before you read it.
Sip your water bottle.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. All right, so the first one is, how much older is Padme than Anakin? What's that? What's wrong?
The name's not Pad Thai, man. It's Padme.
Bro, I'm just reading what they're putting down here, okay? I'm just reading what they're putting down.
How old is Padme? You're lucky that's Natalie Portman, the actress, because if it was anyone of a different culture, we'd be cancelled right here
I don't understand.
now.
Padme, is that not what they call her in the movie? You're joking with me right now.
Well, look, you might be right, because my hearing is not the best, but I'm pretty sure it's Padme.
I watched this last night. I was Padme.
Padme.
All right.
Go on.
Anyway, the lady was born in 46 BBY, before the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah, that's wild.
And Anakin's miraculous Force-created birth came in 41 BBY, so 5 years older.
That's incorrect in regards to how they look, but like...
Yeah, kid looks about 5, she looks about 15.
Yeah. That's a good 10 years between them.
Yeah, here we go. Why is it called The Phantom Menace? Yep, that's boring. Was Jar Jar Binks a Sith Lord? Fan theories.
Dude, that's a good fan theory.
Who killed Maul? Bro, if you're asking these questions, like...
Yeah, but we'll talk about Maul.
We'll
talk about Maul.
Maul got mauled.
He got mauled.
Is Snoke Jar Jar Binks? Yeah, okay.
Well, that's what people were thinking, that like Snoke was either Jar Jar Binks.
Hold on. This is the one that we're waiting for. Who killed Ahsoka Tano?
Who killed her, man?
During the final arc of Season 5, Ahsoka is framed and imprisoned for a deadly explosion and a subsequent murder, both of which were committed by her... Okay, so I was reading this, and this was a couple lines down. This person's name, her friend, Barris Offie.
Yeah.
I thought it said Barista Coffee. Murders which were committed by her friend Barista Coffee. We talking like Victoria or we talking Rio?
Dude, that needs to now become a segment.
Yeah,
that made me laugh.
Yeah, okay.
A lot. I'm glad that you made that a segment.
A lot of them are not enjoyable, but we might get a few hidden gems in here.
But what you gave me was a gem.
Well, I'm happy. Anyway,
like, like I always sing the songs to you, like "Thank you for being a friend," like "You are the voice in me," or whatever that.
Yeah, you just ring me up and start singing.
These are the reasons why, because that made me laugh too much. But Vincent, today I want to talk about a couple of things. One, I want to talk about the general plot, because like we got to give a bit more of a synopsis in what was given. I want to talk about the characters. I want to talk about specifically, I think you know which characters specifically I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, obviously Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks. We're going to talk about Darth Maul. We're going to talk about Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi. We're going to talk about Liam Neeson's very own. Right? We're going to do the hits and the misses. We're going to talk about the casual racism that's thrown around in this movie. Because there's a bit of
CGI.
And the CGI, of course. But Victor, I want to start off by saying, here's the thing. Movies, like, you know, they become a big part of people's worlds, right? You know, there's a lot of me and you that's like, we want to spend our weekends going to the theaters and watching the new Avengers movie, watching the new big Marvel movie. That like brings us joy when we see it's coming out in a month or it's coming out in a week, right? We put a lot of energy into that. But here's the thing that you can't do as a fan of any, and I'm looking at the camera for a bit of this, like, because now I'm feeling like my face. Here's the thing you can't do. We've got to remember that these actors and people in these films are like real people. Because Jake Lloyd, the young child star, aka Anakin Skywalker in this film, was not only bullied like at school after this film, but was bullied by the media and people around him. Not people around him, by like people who like love the film. They're like, he ruined who Darth Vader was. Because like, spoiler alerts, like we're doing spoilers here.
Yeah,
like,
if you haven't seen any of the Star Wars movies, these spoilers.
Anakin Skywalker is, yeah.
But
this kid who was given a script by a man with a neck beard, right? And glasses. Not me or Vinny. Like, we've got both of those. But like, you've got one, I've got the other.
Yeah.
Right?
I've actually got both.
He was given a script by an older man who gave him this clunky dialogue and just said, hey, be cute while you're doing it, because like that's what we want. I
thought he was fine in this
That's what sells a movie, right? Absolutely.
Bro, you telling me the pod racer scene and when he was in the spaceship were not top tier?
I'm not saying that.
Bro, the pod racer scene, that was my favourite part of the movie.
We're going to talk about the pod racer scene.
Because man's he's just cool, calm, collected. He's flicking switches. He's going, man, my whole engine is just flying around. What am I going to do? All right, I'm going to just magnetise this. Yep, done.
But what, you know, an experience that could have changed a kid's life for the better ended up changing it for the worse. Yeah,
but I don't understand why people would get mad. Oh, this is who Darth Vader is. Well, you think just a bad man's a bad man his whole life. You think kids straight out the womb going like, man, where's the next rodent I can murder in 5 steps?
Like with like asthmatic problems as well. Like some people come out the womb with asthmatic problems, but like Darth Vader had some serious issues.
Might have been because he's
we'll get into that when we do the third one.
That's right.
But listen, don't give these people too much of a hard time. They're doing their best out here.
I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with him, but Star Wars fans are like the worst of fans.
Yeah.
They're like, you know, Kathleen Kennedy ruined Star Wars for everyone, who's like the new like Disney exec who like did all the Star Wars things.
What's wrong with the new Star Wars stuff?
Well, there's a bit wrong with it, but it's like not to be like, we're not going to attack people's like life and be like, you specifically you ruined it. It's like, dude, you're paying for these tickets. Of course they're going to be like beating the dead horse. Like they're going to be just bringing out all the hits. Like what, you want Palpatine? Here's Palpatine. Here you go. Like, what do you expect? Like, these movies are a product of what we enjoy.
Yeah, you're going to be having Palpatine.
You're going to be getting Palpatine. Now, I gotta like get off screen to like blow my nose because my nose is like running.
Okay.
You just continue. We're also going to talk about like our nostalgia of this film and what we...
Our nostalgia. I'll talk about my nostalgia.
I'll be back real quick.
Okay, you'll be back.
I can't do that on the screen because that's like disgusting.
Yeah, that's right. Just go in the corner of the room and we'll just hear it. Oh, here we go. So, just got a text. Internode, NBN planned maintenance in your area. 24th of the 5th.
No, talk about Star Wars, man.
Oh, talk about Star Wars? So, I've only first watched this movie when the first one of the new trilogy came out. This is weird. I'm not talking to anyone. This is bizarre. So, I just did a marathon of all the movies, all 6 of them. And I thought this was fine when I came. You know, everyone was going, oh, bro, the first 3 are terrible. The episode 1 to 3.
Yeah. The prequel trilogy.
You know, sand in my shoes and whatever. I can respect that. Bro, I hate going to the beach.
Yeah, dude. That's true, though.
Okay, when I watched that in whatever movie that one was, I was going, bro, I am Anakin right now.
Yeah. So I agree with you entirely. Like, I like the beach. I like going there. But, like, give me rocks instead of sand. I'd rather step on rocks.
That's right. Not barefoot. I can't do that barefoot.
No. I'll be like, because then you can wear, like, shoes.
Yeah.
You know, you can't wear shoes to the beach
because then you get sand in your shoes. And you got to, wear shoes that you don't like? Or, nah, bro, that's too much.
But if you got rocks. Dude, I can wear my best Nikes, you know?
You can wear your best Nikes. And the thing with rocks at the beach is because they're from the ocean, they've been smoothed over by erosion.
Yeah.
That's geology.
That's geology for you. But, yeah, no, you are correct. I have a strong affinity for these like prequel series because this came out when we were younger. And it's movies that you experience when you're younger, there's a particular love that you have for them, regardless of how good or bad they actually are. And as that movie gets older, unless there's like real weird tones in the movie, you know, like how we watched that movie about the kid who like wins that $1 million. Blank check.
Yeah, shocker.
You know? But in this case, I think that not only was it a good movie like from my nostalgia, but I actually really enjoyed it. And I know I'm talking about it now, but I actually really enjoyed it when I watched it like last night and this morning.
Yeah, so the first time I watched it, I remember going, yeah, this is good, but that's also because I was expecting not much.
Yeah.
You know, the talk around it was, you know, sand and whatnot. This is trash. You know, Jar Jar Binks, man. But when I watch it now, I think I enjoyed it less.
Yeah, than when you first watched it.
Just because Jar Jar Binks is trash.
That's
because it's as if they put him in there just for a bit of humor and things like that. They could have just cut all of his parts. It was fine to have him in the movie, but you know the bit where he's just falling over things and running into people.
Yeah, during the battle, that final battle.
You just put that at the end after credits and just have 5 minutes of Jar Jar Binks running into things.
Or like do a short like that comes on before the movie starts, like Jar Jar Binks.
I don't want to see him doing that in the movie because it's more of a serious movie. And that's not saying he can't have jokes, but the humor didn't really match up.
Well, I think it was because, you know, as I said, you want to throw out the hits. If you've got like, you know, New Hope, you got bloody Empire Strikes Back, you got Return of the Jedi. These are like movies that people you go into like the top 100 of all movies in any list. Like all three of them are on there at some point. Yeah. Right. So people are like, we got to get the hits from there and bring them into this. So they're thinking, one, obviously we're going to do like taxation and trade. Like this movie, The Scroll, it like starts and it's like taxation is like the first word.
Yeah. Tariffs. The Trade Federation is putting whatever taxes on.
They're doing like blockades and embargoes. You know, I'm seeing these words that I don't really understand as an adult. You know what I mean? But
you're bringing up your accountant. But like words like embargo and taxation and you know, and like doing my taxes every financial year, they things I should know.
Yeah, like my accountant is my brother. So I'd be like, hey, bro, like I'm just like down the hall. Hey, what's going on? You know, what's embargoes mean? But here's the thing: they had Yoda. They had that. You know, remember in I think it was Empire Strikes Back where Yoda comes in and he's like that kooky old dude that lives down by the swamp, right? Yeah. Hilarious.
That's right.
But it was like that much of hilarity. Then the rest was like, dude, listen, I'm actually a serious
and it was
dude.
Also on character as someone,
who's been living in a swamp for like that many years by himself.
Jar Jar Binks is he's fine. There's just too much of the slapstick comedy kind of business.
I also hate, and I know that we'll get into this when we do the other movies, but I hate that this man like becomes a part of the Senate. Yeah. Like he's like doing Senate things.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing.
No.
But he could be a Sith Lord.
He could be. He could be Snoke. We figured out that Snoke is just a man in a jar. Like we figured that out, but he could be Snoke.
He could still be Snoke.
So there's the part that just sums up what they try to make Jar Jar versus what he is when there's the final battle. And like Jar Jar's now been upgraded to a general. And like we're jumping around, but I just want to speak about this part specifically. And Jar Jar's like standing in front of all these like, you know, these warriors of the Gungans, right? And he's like, steady, hey, steady. And I'm just like, why did we even need to put that in the movie to show that like Jar Jar Binks has got what it takes? He just says steady to a bunch of folk.
But there's no character arc. He's the same dude the whole time.
It's just a dumb individual.
He's just a dump, bro.
It's just a dump. This is the dump truck, bro. He's got a big dump truck on him. No, so we may as well, because we're on the characters. I think that Jar Jar Binks is the worst part of this movie.
Yeah.
But I also think the second worst part of the movie is the fact that those dudes that are like running the taxations and the trades.
Oh, shocking.
Like just Asian stereotype out the wazoo.
The other thing that made it even worse, well, it just sucked to get a little bit more, is their mouth movements weren't synced up to what they were saying.
Yeah.
And that frustrated even more.
Yeah. Like they look cool. They look cool though.
Yeah.
Like this is the thing. We've got all these like CGI characters that look like They look fine for the time because we're talking 1999. Like they did pretty well.
Except for what's his name? Sebulba, whose man's is 90% neck, 10% the rest.
And like even though like this is like not percentages that work, like 1% those things.
Yeah, what in the world?
Yeah.
It looks like a shrimp.
Yeah. And we'll get into that other dude. I keep forgetting his name, but the guy that like owns all the slaves.
Oh yeah.
Because he's another
The Fly.
Yeah, he's another.
He looks like a mutant.
Stereotype.
He looks like a mutant fly.
He does, but those two dudes at the start. It's just like I was scrolling through IMDb, and not that it should be, it shouldn't just be like Asian people doing like the Asian stereotype. Like that's still not right. But I was looking through the IMDb. I ain't seen one Asian individual in this whole film.
That was just George Lucas doing the accents.
You know what? It probably could have been.
Yeah.
And he would have been like, I've saved Star Wars. I've done it single-handedly.
Goodness me.
Yeah. I found out from like a much better podcast than ours, the Weekly Planet podcast, right? That George Lucas was one time in Adelaide, South Australia, and just like ate at the Myers food court. Like he was just in there like eating like
that's hilarious.
Like sumo salad or whatever they got in there.
The Myer food court is the worst food court.
Is that the one that's like down?
Yeah.
That has like all them. That's all right. That's got like Beyond India Express.
No. That's Rundle Place.
Oh, is that
Myer food court is dead.
Oh right, Myer food court. Yeah, he was in there like just by himself because his wife was doing like a speech somewhere like at the convention center, and he's just like, "I'm George Lucas, but I'm eating like sumo salad here."
Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
Hi, I'm George Lucas. I'm just eating a sumo salad here. Can I order a sumo salad, please? I'm George Lucas.
He like went up to like Boost and he's like, "My name's George Lucas. Do I get a free like Boost juice?" You remember they did that? If you like have the same name as the person that's working there, you get like a free Boost juice.
Oh yeah.
It's not appropriate for people like me. I go there like, "Hi, my name's Apostoli." It's like, I can't do nothing for you, bro.
We don't have any Apostolis on the register.
Like I've
the whole country.
I've looked overseas, man. Like wherever Boost Juice is, like I've looked there and there's no one. So like I've never got a free Boost Juice.
That's all right, man.
But that's got to change. So I also want to talk about quickly that stereotypical the fly dude.
Yeah.
Like he's made like, and this is something that's been brought up from people other than us, but he's made to be like a Jewish man. Like the facial features, the fact that he's like stingy with money, all that kind of stuff.
Is he stingy with money?
Well, I mean, he's doing things for like minimal cost. Like he's giving slaves minimal money for what he's doing. He was made to be a Jewish stereotype because it's funny. Like the same way the Asian dudes are like made to be like the biggest Asian stereotype because you'll get some laughs by that dude that we met at Mortal Kombat.
Babe, this is hilarious.
So, look, that takes this movie down a few points, but let me tell you what takes this movie up. And we're going to talk about this for a little bit. We're going to talk about the duo of Liam Neeson's and Ewan McGregor as both Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Good Jedis.
Just that's what you want as your Jedi. Like, after that, like, I mean, the only Jedi we've experienced prior to that was Luke Skywalker and like Obi-Wan as an old man.
Yeah.
But now we've got like, one, Liam Neeson's with long hair.
Dude, Liam Neeson's, and he's just, he knows what to say. He knows what he's doing.
It's cool, calm, collected.
Far out. The part where he was fighting Darth Maul and the barriers went up and he's just meditating, I'm going, far out. It's a real shame that he died straight after that.
Yeah. Like he does the hardest thing in all like that, like hardest. And when I say hardest, like this is the hardest album of all time. Like put that on the album cover of him just meditating in front of like with the red force field in front of him.
It would have been so much better if he had meditated, the force would come up, and then he just smacked Darth Maul and man's just got chopped in half.
Dude, that would have been wild. And then everyone would have been like, yeah, absolutely. Like that's exactly what I assumed was going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. And then maybe he could have tripped and fallen down that hole. Okay.
Yeah, because like...
Try Anakin!
Because at that point, no one knew the height of Liam Neeson's. No one knew the height of him.
As in how tall he is?
Like, I mean, his stature, they knew. They knew his stature.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't know that Liam Neeson would get to taken height.
Oh, yeah. He had nothing that had been taken from him yet.
Nothing had been taken from him. Like, at that point, he'd gained something. He'd gained a young child. Whereas in the other film, like, he loses a child, right?
He gained a young child. He's acquired one.
And Obi-Wan Kenobi, like, just, I love how, like, calm their voices are, and they're very zen. They go right into all the zen of the Jedi.
You expect them to be Jedis.
Oh, I didn't expect anything less. And they never take off their cloak for no one. I mean, until they verse Darth Maul.
Oh, that was killer when they all take off their cloaks.
Because I was going to say, like, they even swim in those cloaks.
Yeah. As soon as they went into the water, I'm going, that's another, 10, 15 kilos of water weight you're carrying with you, swimming.
Yeah. But lucky they had those, like, mouthpieces so they could breathe regardless of what happened.
Yeah, that's right.
But they just walked into that water. Like, they're doing Windhoff methods.
I don't know what that is, but they didn't even hesitate.
There's that, like, the new thing that everyone's, like, going for swims in the morning now. Because there's this dude, like, called Wim Hof who, like, goes for swims in, like, ice water. And he tells you how good it is. Which it is good for you, apparently. But that's the new craze. Like, we need to do a YouTube video, like, back catalogue, do the Windhoff method.
Yeah, we've got to do back catalogue, teach Vincent how to swim first. and then we can do the Windhoff method.
That's true.
Hypothermia doesn't exist where he is? Or
I think he's built himself up so, like, hypothermia does not exist.
Yeah, so he's going, oh, everyone try this. And everyone's going into the water and they're going, hold on, it's bloody cold.
But I also think, like, he goes into the water and he gets cold, but then he doesn't, like, stay in there for too long.
So he just dips a few toes and that's it.
No, I mean, he goes, like, full bore, like, head under the water sort of business. But he just goes in there and he's like does some breathing exercises. Probably what these Jedi did, like, goes in with his cloak at least and then comes out and then puts on a towel, Or just uses another cloak that's, like, dry at that point. But we're going to talk very quickly before we get into the pod races. I want to talk about Darth Maul. Because there's a couple of things I want to talk about Darth Maul. Actually, before Darth Maul, let's talk about Padme, as Vinny said it. But let's talk about Padme and just, like, the consistent switches between Natalie Portman and Keira Knightley.
Oh, was that?
That's Keira Knightley's. Like, we've got Keira Knightley's in this movie. Pirates of the Caribbean's very own.
Yeah, see, I thought it was Natalie Portman. But see, the thing...
I mean, Natalie Portman is in it. She is there as well. They're both there.
Natalie Portman is the main one, isn't it?
Yeah. But Keira Knightley's, like, the one that's, like, her stand-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a part of the movie. That wasn't because...
That was a part of the movie. Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say. Yeah, I didn't really understand that whole... Oh, is she the queen? Is she not the queen,
Yeah. I mean, I understand that it was like, we're doing this to, like, trick people. So, like, if I get shot, at least, like, it might end up being my loyal bodyguard who gets shot, so I'm still good. Which I think happens in the second movie. Like, this plane explodes and, like, you think Padme is dead, and then it's her loyal bodyguard just being like,
I'm dead.
Like, but I did sign up for this, so that's fine.
This is my job. Yeah, now that was a bit strange because it's not as if she was the bodyguard for the whole time, the handmaiden or whatever.
Yeah, there was no method to it. Like, 'cause they look different. Like, I know that they've got the same makeup on and they've got wild headdresses on and things like that.
And they talk like this.
Which we'll get into that as well.
The tax trade is not right for my country of Naboo.
Imagine how boring you would think. Like, you're doing the script reads. Like, George Lucas has got the whole crew there, and Natalie Portman's like doing her best. Like, because Natalie Portman shows emotion. Natalie Portman's a great actress, right?
Yeah.
So is Keira Knightley. They're probably in there like hitting hard. Like, the trade is not good for Naboo.
The trade. No. The trade.
He's like, dull it down. Let's make it as boring as possible.
Which is fine, I guess that's just the character.
That is just the character, but you've got Natalie Portman.
You got Natalie Portman.
It's like you're going to get Robert Pattinson, you're going to get him doing this. No, you're going to get Robert Pattinson doing, like, Rob Pattinson things, right? Pats, my man, right? But the other thing about Natalie Portman that made me laugh, or about Princess Amidala, right?
Who?
That's who, like, her actual name. That's her, like, princess name, but she's like Padme.
Princess Medulla Oblongata.
Princess Medulla Oblongata, right? Right, like the powerhouse of the cell, right? Like,
that's in the brain, my brother.
I know. I'm just kidding. I know about mitochondria. I've done, like,
he knows about midichlorians, all right? They're off the charts. They're over 9,000. That's what Liam Neeson should have said. That would have been fan service.
That would have been fan service.
Bruv, Obi-Wan, these are over 9,000, the midichlorian count.
And he, like, gets his, like, goggle on.
Midichlorians, are they heads? Are they people? Or are they...
They're like cells, like things in your body.
Yeah, but and then he was going, he was conceived by the midichlorians.
Yeah, because it's like, immaculate conception. Like this is like a story about Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
You know?
That's why Jedi is now a religion.
Yeah, this is a whole, you could look at the Bible and find some things that were similar. Like there's no David v. Goliaths in this, although that would be pretty wild.
Yeah, we got some dude in a cloak with long hair going, bro, the Christian counts are off the chart.
Yeah, exactly. That's strictly in the Bible. But I the funny thing that I thought of when I was seeing, both Keira Knightley and Natalie Portman like wearing their royal dresses is that rich people had an option, right? They had this option. They're rich, so they had all the options, right? When they were making all the rules, they had all the options. They had the options to just wear the most casual things, and that would be like that's richness. Like you wear cloaks, you wear comfy clothing, you're rich, right? But instead, what they did was they were like, let's make things as uncomfortable as possible. Let's put on this giant headdress with like my hair sticking out here. My head probably weighs 10 kilos more than it should be. My neck is being compressed. Like I'm gonna need to wear like a neck brace after, just to even things out. I'm gonna need to just hang from like a pole with my mouth just to like stretch out my neck, right? I was thinking about top hats. We've talked about top hats on this show, but I was thinking about crowns. A crown's made of it's like good quality.
Yeah, but that's to show man's. Look, I got gold on my head with jewels and whatnot, Yeah,
but now you're doing these ones when you're older. Now you're doing these ones because like, oh man, that jewel over the left side is a bit too heavy, so like my neck's like cramped this way. Whereas if I was a rich man,
you'd have a cotton crown.
Like we've talked about
ruby
this.
On it. That's it.
We talked about this. I'd just go to like Lowe's and get like a $20 like hoodie and like grey matching like sweatpants.
Do we have Lowe's in Australia?
Yeah, Lowe's is like that store where you like get your dad something and it's like, this is like dad's favourite Hawaiian shit.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Lowe's.
Bro, when you see Lowe's, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like it's like the product already has the bowls on it. When you like wash a product too much, you get the bowls. Like Lowe's has got that from the get-go.
Oh yeah. They're ahead of the game.
That's comfort.
They're going, what this is going to look like after 15 washes.
And also, you're going to wear it that much that you'll develop the bowls and you don't even care. You won't throw it out. I don't actually know. I've never worn Lowe's, but like it could be the worst. But all I'm saying is rich people had a choice. They didn't take the right option.
They did not take the right. They could have been kitted out on Adidas, head to toe.
Yeah.
Tracksuit material. What else have I got here?
Should we talk about Darth Maul for a bit?
Yeah, I just want to talk about the funniest part of the movie, which was when they were at with the droid. I don't know, I think Padme and her mates were there, and they're going, oh, we got to get through to the droid. And it goes, that doesn't compute. You're under arrest.
That was hilarious.
Because it's funny, because they've been programmed. So they've been programmed to say, it doesn't compute.
Yeah, those droids are like the best parts of these movies.
Hilarious.
Too funny.
They're hilarious. That doesn't compute. Man's
He's like
thinking,
confused.
I've done the calculations. It doesn't add up.
He's like this dude that I saw I was at a BP like getting petrol, right? And there was a dude that was a trainee there. And he didn't do something right with the customer before. And like his trainer was like, you were meant to give him this, not this. And like, so it was like getting angry at him. And you could just tell the dude was like when he was serving me, he was like, I've lost my job like first day.
You're under arrest.
That's that guy.
Hilarious. That's just right. That was hilarious. The droids are hilarious.
Those droids are great. And like those other droids that like, I can't remember what they were called, but the ones that like roll and they're just shooting.
They're cool.
That's cool. That is cool. I enjoyed that.
All right, let's talk about Darth Maul.
Wow. Am I right though? Is he like one of the coolest like individuals you've ever seen?
He's pretty cool. I didn't think any of the fights up until the last one were any good.
You're absolutely correct.
The last fight is insane.
Yeah.
Just the lightsaber fighting, it just seems more realistic.
Well, I wouldn't say it was more realistic, but it was like they were putting on a show.
Yeah, but what I mean is there were more, okay, I'm going to swing here or I'm a block there.
Yeah.
Before it kind of was, oh, okay, I'm going to jump a little bit.
Well, and also before they were just versing droids and they were doing these ones.
No, but they've versed Darth Maul before.
Oh, he jumped up in the thing. It wasn't as good. That's right. Yeah. No, it was. I don't know how long they worked on setting up that scene and getting like what are those things called when you do the squares with pictures in them to like set up a movie.
Squares in the pictures.
Yeah, well, whatever that is. So they did all the choreographies, they did all of that. They
did all the
doing
squares
that for a
in
while.
the pictures. They did a lot of squares, a lot of pictures. Oh, storyboard.
Storyboards.
Yeah, a lot of squares and pictures.
That's the best. Like, if you don't know what it is, that's the best description of it.
George Lucas goes into the writing room. All right, where are my squares and pictures? Where are they? Excuse me, Mr. Lucas? What do you mean? The squares with the pictures in them. Where are they? Do you mean the storyboard?
That's exactly what I mean. Thank you. I just lost the word for a minute.
Oh, I just gone down to the sumo salad and I just forgotten what I was talking about.
I got double chicken, and just when you get that much protein in your body, it slows things down. But absolutely amazing. The music that was playing as well, great.
Yeah, he's also extremely dumb.
The Darth Maul is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi is hanging there, running all the simulations going, oh, should I do this? Should I do this? Darth Maul's just there looking at him. And you know what he's looking like?
Like a sucker.
He's looking like a stunned mullet. That's what he's looking like. And he sees Ewan McGregor look at the lightsaber, at Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber, and he just goes, oh? Doesn't say that, but, just for the listener only. The viewer will see that.
Yeah.
He's just going, oh, well, I can't do anything. Bro, just stab him straight in the head with the lightsaber.
You've got two of them.
Not anymore.
That's true. At that point, he got cut in half, right?
Honestly.
I mean, he didn't get cut in half. I'm saying like...
No, that's right.
Yeah, the lightsaber did, but yeah. No, he could have just... Or he could have just used the force to like get his fingies like off the thing. Like, your fingers are slippery now.
That's right.
Or like done like one of these
That
ones.
is also another thing. They don't use the force push a lot in the fights. And then when Darth Maul does it, it basically wins him the fight.
Yeah. I mean, he just uses it to like throw a rock at like a button and the button opens a door. That's the first part. But no, you're correct. And I think that there's like some reasoning for it. There's probably some like law. Well, the reality is if they were to use the force on themselves and each other, then the action of the force would bounce back and break their own bones. Like, that's what like some dude would say in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So you can't go into
let us know in the comments, exactly.
Yeah, and put on that accent when you're like doing it as well.
Yeah, I'm talking paragraphs.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I don't want to see like you've like copied and pasted it from Wikipedia, because I'll check. I'll copy and paste that into Google, and if it comes up as like a paragraph in Wikipedia, that's on you.
You're banned.
Literally, we're deleting you from the podcast.
Be careful.
It's done from the podcast game. Like, if you try to set up your own podcast, like, it's done, bro. We've talked to the higher ups. It's done. It's done for you. But yeah, no, he could have done a lot more. And he did look like a stunned mullet, and even looked more like a stunned mullet when he got chopped in half and then fell down. Like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Because he's falling and then it clearly turns into CGI, and then it honestly looks like he's just jelly.
Yeah. But we find out like later in, through like cartoons and whatnot, that Darth Maul does come back. Because like, how are you going to have such a cool character for one thing? You're going to use him.
Oh, does he come back?
He's got like spider legs. He's like got a mechanical like lower body.
That's
I think he gets his like, he gets like a regular lower body back. Well, no, like, I mean, it's mechanical, but he's got like normal legs. And then Obi-Wan like just finds him in like, and
just drops him.
Yeah, like instantly. Obi-Wan just comes up to him and he's like, yeah, it's over. And Darth Maul's like, yeah, you're right. You're a much better Jedi now.
Oh, man.
You're right, Vincent?
I just smacked myself against
Bro, do you want me to mess with that? Do you want me to like hit it
up?
up?
No, that's all right. It's all right. So, another thing that... Oh, bro, get out of here. Another thing is so they're doing, at the Senate.
Yeah.
Whatever, which is a killer...
Oh, dude, like all those
scenario.
floating. Yeah,
that's the best.
cool.
But the funny thing is they just go, I object, and it just floats around. I just imagine, there's an argument, you look at, the Australian Parliament, and they're just like racial slurs getting thrown everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like Scott Morrison and that Pauline Hanson lady.
Like, she's coming up in it like hijab. Like, she's done that. Like, can you believe it? And
you can't see my face. How do you know what I'm going to do? Heck out of here, Pauline Hanson.
She comes into Parliament with the hijab on and then takes it off like, bet you didn't know it was me. And it's like, bro, we knew it was you. That's your seat. This says your name at the front. I don't know if it actually does.
Have you guys seen it's P. Hansen? So, yeah. Bro, you didn't know it was me.
She comes in talking like this for Australia. We live in Australia. That's how she talks. And she's talking like that. It's like, Pauline, like, take it off. Like, I know it's you at this point.
It's kind of sad that people like that are just around in Parliament. You know?
Everyone needs a voice, I guess. Like, even like the craziest of the folk needs someone to like voice their opinions.
Yeah, but maybe someone less
harmful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe just some child to just voice their opinion.
Like with like midichlorians, like out the wazoo.
Just like midichlorians out the wazoo.
Yeah.
No, but so they're in the Senate. What I'm saying is I just imagine there's an argument and they're just like these orbs floating around everywhere and it's like Dodgem cars. You know?
Like if two people object at the same time, like they all crash into each other.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But no, so they're in there and then Padme is going, I'm
not laughing at it anymore. I'm not laughing anymore.
And she's going, oh, they've, you know, what are you doing?
Go on.
They've declared war against Naboo. Yeah. And they're going, do you have any proof?
That they've declared war against Naboo? Yeah. Like that like bullets are like flying.
That there's not 50,000 droids in the capital city. Bro, they can just go, oh, there's a hologram. Hey, can you do this for me? Yeah, sure. I'll get you out the ham from the fridge so you can make a sandwich. Something like that. Across the galaxy. And they can't go, oh, yeah, I can actually see the feed right now. It's showing just war.
Like there's live cams showing war. Like we could probably just fly someone out real quick. He can take a couple of photos, come back.
Exactly.
Like they know light speed here.
They go, no, we have to go for a vote of confidence to this head in the Senate.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, it's all leading to like what's going to come later in these films.
Yeah.
But I think we need to talk about, because now that we're getting towards the end, the back end of it, we need to talk about the pod race.
Oh, dude, pod race was the best.
That's why. You know why it was good? Because it's unlike anything else that's in the Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
it is its own fun thing.
Honestly, I'd watch a whole movie. I'd watch Fast and the Furious, but, you know, pod races.
Oh, dude.
I'd watch Vin Diesel in just some pod with just hot rod flames coming out the end of it. You know?
And like it's like a pod that's like beat up, but he's like, no, I know the secret's to like making any pod like into the fastest car. Like that one when he like drives some old beat up car and then it turns on fire and he just puts it in reverse. So the fire is now going the other way. That's the best, man. Like give me a movie where the fire's going one way, but then you would put it in reverse, it's going the other way.
Dude, that's thinking on your feet.
That's thinking on your feet, man.
Even though he's sitting down.
But also, here's the thing, Vincent. I don't think that your wish is like too far off. Because like I think from the latest trailer of the Fast and Furious 9, they go into space.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, dude, they're doing like Clone Wars, the pod races. But no, they're doing Fast and Furious in space.
Like I'm pretty sure they go into space in this latest film. Or they will, like once this latest film comes out.
Bro, the Fast and Furious franchise is just getting wilder and wilder.
Disney need to pick them up so then they can do the Star Wars crossover that we've always wanted. Disney, if you're listening, which I know you're not because like we haven't got no sponsorships, we haven't even been told to stop, so you're not listening. But one day, if you ever are, get Dominic Toretto in space, get him in a pod race.
They don't even need the other heads, just Dom Toretto.
Dom Toretto, yeah. And like maybe Tyrese just to be like screaming in the background.
Yeah, that's true.
Just to like level things out. Like he's the Jar Jar Binks of the Fast and Furious universe. Like there's just too much of him, you know? As in like in that film. Like we need to get less of Tyrese.
Yeah, okay.
Like he's earned his paycheck. Shout out Cinema Sins, you know?
I don't know what that shout out means, but shout out to Cinema Sins.
I love the pod race because it's its own entity. There's the Nintendo 64 video game.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The pod racing video game.
Brought out pod race. There's a new one coming out, isn't there?
Is there?
I think there's a new pod racer remake or something. I don't know.
We're talking remakes,
but that would be exciting.
That would be exciting for me.
I think that's all I've got for what. What if? Do you reckon they color code their lasers before they go into battle?
It's like they know who's who.
Yeah. So you're going, okay, we're going to do green, you're going to do red.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%.
Because they're in the space battle, you know, there's just things flying everywhere. How do you know which ones?
Yeah, like they're blasters and whatnot as well. Yeah, oh, dude, yeah. No, you'd have to.
They'd have to.
I mean, green means good, red means bad, apparently.
Yeah, but both of them think they're doing green things. Farewell.
Now, geez, let's wrap it up there. You know, is that war or is that war? Shit, dude. Wow. You know that book, The Art of War, that like everyone like reads and it says like, you know, this is the most inspirational book of all time. Like that needs to be at the very end.
Bro, that could just be the whole book.
That's it. It's a one-page book. Like, listeners, we haven't just stopped talking because like we've ran out of things to say. I was just blown away by what Vincent said. Because sometimes we act for the camera and it does mean that there's gaps and that we need to inform the listeners that we are like doing camera things. All right? Because like one listener was like, "Yo, dude, you guys got too many spaces between what you're saying." I'm like, hold on a second. We never do spaces between what we're saying. We will fill garbage. Like, even if it's garbage, we'll fill a space with garbage, right? Also, I'm going to do a shout out at the end of this show.
Okay.
But, Vincent, do you reckon like that's it? Like, do we need to talk more about midi-chlorians? Like, what is a midi-chlorian?
Nah, I don't care about that.
No.
I thought they were people.
No. Oh, I do have one thing to talk about.
Yeah, about how they just burnt Qui-Gon Jinn and just sat around, like just sniffing his fumes.
Like if there's midi-chlorians, like everyone's getting them.
Everyone's getting them. I hope they balmed him up or something.
Yeah, you got to balm people up before you start doing that. Because my man's would have
been smelling. They're just burning the dude right there.
Yeah.
Cloak and all. It's still damp from
the Gungan place. Did you got phone calls? Who's phone calling? Dude, yeah. Well, you may as well like pick it up on the pod and just say like, call us back in AD.
Hey, what's up? Hello? Hello? How was the quality of your call? 1 star, brother.
Okay. Well, we'll call him back in AD.
Call him back.
But here's the thing. What were we talking about?
Midi-chlorians.
Oh, balm your people like before you like burn them. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, that's it.
No, but we're at the end of this. I wanted to say very quickly, Yoda, initially when we watched as young children, Yoda was a puppet. But then they CGI'd him.
I like Yoda.
Do you remember? Nice. He looks cool. But do you remember like the Yoda puppet? Just looks like an absolute like crackhead.
As in from the originals?
Like, no. As in like from this Phantom Menace. You know how Samuel Jackson's talking to Yoda at one point?
Yeah.
Like, shout out Samuel who's in these movies.
Yeah, he's looking fresh.
Yeah. He's looking at Yoda. And previously when they had filmed it, Yoda was a puppet.
Oh, they redid the CGI.
That's right, in like 2011 or something.
That's hilarious.
But the Yoda puppet, dude's like had some hard years. Like he looks like he's been living in the swamp and he's like in the recovery. Like he's been at rehab like from the swamp life, you know what I mean? But this is pre-swamp.
That's wild.
And also there's apparently like, I'm not sure if it's in this one or the next one, but there's Yaddle, who's like the female like version of like his race. And it's just Yoda but with like a wig on. Hilarious. You got to put it in the show notes.
Is that in the second one?
I don't know if it's in the second one or this one's at some point, but like Yaddle, you got to put that in the show notes. But this is the part where we tell them, the listeners and the viewers, whether this movie is worth the $11.99 for Disney Plus admission. And let me tell you, come for the pod race, come for the final battle. And by final battle, I mean the fight between Darth Maul and the 2 Jedi. And that's worth it.
Oh, and also, yeah, this movie's worth it. Just, I don't know why they put in that Gungan dance ceremony at the end of the movie. They should have stopped it when he said whatever, you know, something about something. They said something and I can't remember what it was.
But they should have stopped when they said something about something. They should have just taken all the Gungans out. Or they could have just made the Gungans, like, they could have just had them speak in a different language.
Why is the man doing... Why is he doing that all the time?
I don't know. And why is he speaking like such bad broken... Like, I understand, like, broken English is fine. Like, our grandparents speak the most broke of English. Like, they're broke. Like, English broke is what I mean. But they're just doing it for comedic effect. But their whole thing is comedic effect. And all they're doing, like, I want them to go into battle with these dudes that I'm like, oh, these guys might actually have a chance of winning. They don't look like they're going to have a chance of winning because all their leaders look like damn fools.
They're doing this.
But that's neither here nor there. Vincent, tell them where they can find us.
All right, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Patreon. We're going to do Patreon. You got a shout out to make. We got someone hopefully coming on the pod next week. Guest.
Wow.
Appearance.
Wow.
I haven't informed this guest, but
wow.
We'll see if we can make some moves, you know?
We'll see if we can make some moves. And hey, shout out Jaden. Now Jaden
is a
listener who's been listening for a while, but has only recently told me about, his affinity for the pod and also posted it on his Instagram.
Oh, absolutely respect to Jaden.
Now, shout out Jaden because he listens to our pod before he goes to sleep. And he falls asleep to our dulcet tones. So hey.
Dulcet tones. Is that dulcet tones?
So hey, if you want something to fall asleep to, tell your friends, man. Or if your friends want something to fall asleep to, we do it here at the Back Catalogue Podcast.
All right. Good night, Jaden.
Good night, Jaden.